Welcome to The Explainer. So today we're going to talk about something pretty incredible. We're looking at how advanced AI is moving way beyond just simple tasks. It's actually becoming a genuine partner in solving some of our most complex, deeply human problems. Okay, so how are we going to tackle this? Well, we're going to dive into two really groundbreaking ideas from some recent research on what are called adaptive AI systems. You're going to see how AI can be designed not to replace people, which is what everyone worries about, right? But to actually boost our own abilities in fields that demand a ton of care and, well, some serious logistical smarts.
All right, first up, let's look at a critical issue that's happening way outside the spotlight of our big cities. It's a growing and honestly a pretty alarming crisis in rural healthcare.
Researchers have a pretty stark name for this problem. They call it death by distance. And wow, it's a powerful phrase, right? It gets right to the heart of it. The idea that where you live, your zip code, can literally be the difference between life and death.
And this number right here, 205, that shows you the reality of it. That's 205 deaths for every 100,000 people. Now, on its own, it kind of just looks like a statistic, right? But to really get the weight of it, you have to see the story behind it.
And here it is. This is the crucial part. So get this. Between 1999 and 2019, while death rates for working-age adults in the cities were actually going down, the rate in rural areas went up. This isn't a gap that's closing, it's getting wider. That's a huge deal. So, what do you do about that? How can technology even begin to tackle a life-or-death logistics problem like this? Well, the proposed solution is a really fascinating idea called the Rural Health Swarm. So what is it? Think of it like a smart, super responsive delivery network. Like a web of intelligence that's built specifically for the kinds of challenges you only find in rural areas. Unreliable roads, huge distances, that kind of thing.
And the core idea here comes from a place that has absolutely mastered logistics under insane pressure, the military. The whole goal is to bring that same level of, military-grade precision and quick thinking to civilian healthcare.
And this comparison here just lays it out perfectly. So, in the military, an AI system analyzes threats in real time to find safer routes for convoys, right? Well, the rural swarm does the same thing, but it's called threat adaptive routing. It's looking for things like washed-out roads or major traffic jams to bypass. The military creates a common operating picture so everyone's on the same page. The swarm does it for medical supplies, creating a map of a region's inventory so everyone knows what's where. It's the same logic, just a different mission.
But here's what might be the most brilliant part of this whole thing: how you access it. It all starts with a simple phone call. That's it. No high-speed internet needed. An AI triage agent picks up and handles the basics. But it's not just a robot taking notes. It's actively listening for these tiny little clinical signals in someone's voice that could mean something seriously wrong. And if it hears that, bam, it immediately flags the call for a human healthcare worker. It basically extends the reach of doctors and nurses, using the tech that's already in literally everyone's pocket.
Okay, so let's shift gears now. We're going to pivot from healthcare logistics to another really human challenge: how we can do a better job supporting neurodiverse students, and, this part is just as important, the amazing teachers who guide them every single day.
The way things are set up now, it's really a two-sided problem. On one side, you have students. For many with conditions like ADHD, the rigid classroom structure can lead to something called task inertia. That feeling of just being completely stuck, unable to start, and emotional dysregulation. But on the other side, you have the teachers, who are often just buried under a mountain of paperwork, which is leading to crazy high burnout rates.
So, to tackle this, researchers are proposing a personalized AI called the neuroadaptive exocortex. Okay, I know the name is a mouthful, but the idea behind it is actually beautiful and simple. It's designed to be a co-pilot for both the student and the teacher.
And I really want to stress this. This is not just another boring, static tutoring program. It's an active co-pilot in the learning process. It's built to respond to a student's needs from one moment to the next, giving them support that's truly personalized, truly dynamic.
So, how does it actually do that? Well, it's through something called adaptive interaction. The AI is constantly looking at real-time data, things like quiz answers, or even just how long a student is spending on one activity. And if it senses that a student is starting to get stuck or lose focus, it can change the lesson on the fly.
adjust the pacing, switch up the content, whatever it takes to help them get back on track.
But here's the other half of the equation, and this is what's so cool. The system also helps the teacher. It's designed to be what they call an administrative shield, basically protecting them from the most tedious, time-sucking paperwork.
I mean, just imagine an AI that can draft the first version of those super complex individualized education programs or IEPs, an AI that can generate compliance reports, create lesson plans. By automating all that stuff, the goal is to slash teacher burnout and, this is the most important part, free them up to do what they got into teaching to do in the first place, actual face-to-face mentoring with their students.
Okay, but of course there's a huge but here. A system that's this deeply woven into a student's education comes with a massive responsibility. You have to implement it so carefully, navigating all the strict student privacy laws out there, like FERPA here in the US. You absolutely have to make sure all that sensitive data stays safe and secure. That's non-negotiable.
So let's zoom out. We've got these two really different systems, right? One for rural health, one for special education. What do they tell us when you put them together? What's the big idea here about our future with AI?
The common thread, it's a huge shift in how we think about AI. These are not systems built to replace people. They are adaptive systems built to augment our own skills, especially in our most complex, most logistical, and most caring jobs. They're co-pilots, not autopilots. That's the key.
So the big takeaway here is that these AIs are being designed from the very beginning to adapt to uniquely human needs. And that opens the door to a future of really powerful collaboration between us and our technology, which, leaves us with a pretty exciting question. If AI can be our co-pilot for health and for learning, what's next? What other huge challenges could we take on with an AI co-pilot right there by our side?